recording.
Yeah, yeah. I also did the audio recording here too. Okay. Yeah. So the audio is recording.
Okay, it already started recording.
All
Okay,
right.
can you please explain the forms to me again?
Yeah. Standard Form 28 is affidavit individual surety. That what that is that the living being is the authorized representative over the principal. The principal is the ens legis or the name or the estate name or the trust name or the fabricated piece of property, which is the birth registration number or social number, whatever. Like the living being is agent or authorized representative over the principal. The principal is just a two-dimensional fiction. That's what standard form 28 is. This is your living being is identifying the surety. The surety is the principal, which is the name and a number associated with an account. Fictional
Okay.
ends lead. That's what that is. And then the these are for state bonds, case bonding. The standard form 24 is the bid bond. It's probably like the primary bidding. It's like some requisite to transition to a performance. Performance is usually what happens in a case where your people are going through like a court drama. So the bidding is like, oh, the presumption or the assumption or the alleged or the accused. It's like doing the bidding or yeah, the black robe sycophant, encumbering someone to abide by he or she's bidding. And then the performance is how people would conduct a charade inside a court. I guess that's the performance or an ensemble or an act
Right.
on a quasi stage or something performance. And then the payment is a payment bond. It's a standard form 24 is the bid, 25 SF25 is performance, and the payment is standard form 25A, which is when they get people in the default judgments, they want to ensure that they get paid with a private transaction. That's what these bonds are in a private, which are they sue people civilly for collection of debt privately, but they don't discuss this in the public. Even though it's called criminal or civil, a criminal charge or an accusation is usually they're suing people civilly for collection of debt privately. They don't tell us these
Okay.
default bonds, and that they want to make sure that they get paid because there's only so much dollars in circulation that they try to what is it, fee off or fleece from the people. Right? They're superficial extortion, like, okay, yeah, we know someone's not going to come out of pocket or something like that. Their 9 to 5 that they have or any resources and money they have. So what they do is they try to guarantee that they're going to get paid uh, with these bonds. You make sure that they get paid because there's only a certain amount of physical notes that are in circulation, and then besides that is all that extension of credit money that doesn't exist, but just numerals on a ledger or a module or something. That's what credit is. So they want to guarantee themselves to get paid by an unjust gain with these bonds, and that's how they make sure they
Which
get
is what
paid.
they created. Which is what they created with this case. With many of them.
Yeah, they do that with
Right.
every. Yep. It's
If you're
known as
innocent, obviously, if you haven't caused any bodily harm and stuff like that, then that's
yeah,
what they do. They just keep you in there to create this bond and just keep monetizing off of your bond, right?
yes, because by default the fictional the artificial person, the name on paper is always guilty by default, and the living being somehow comes along and volunteers to that nonsense.
Right.
That's
Because
not.
we don't know it. You know what I mean? We don't know it. I just came into this knowledge with the pandemic. I had no idea of what was being done to us. And so it's going to be I think it's going to be really hard for him to even try to wrap his head around all this. Um, I know that when I tried explaining it to him, he thought of it as nonsense. He just didn't want to hear it.
Well, yeah, this it's administrative executives with masquerading as public officials, but it's banking and merchant law. the banking representatives. And they have an operating circular 10 authorization list with the Federal Reserve Board and a Federal Reserve discount window. It, it's like a deposit and withdrawal escrow medium of exchange. And there's securities that are created. There's other financial species, monetary species of instruments that have considered value, and they get hypothecated and traded with special purchase vehicles, other investors, prospectuses, people involved uh, that have like professional careers on trading financial instruments.
Right.
And like numbers assigned to them and all kinds of identifying numbers on them and like QSIPs,
I know
QSIP.
I couldn't comprehend the reason. I think I don't know if you were the one that explained it to me or I ran across of it. The reason why they are called trustees, um, right? They're called trustees because they are the health. Wait, I don't know how to explain this. Never mind.
They're in possession of the state property. They're fiduciary trustees, and their duty is to see that the beneficiary is made whole. But what they do is they do bait and switches, and they breach the trust where they switch the role of trustee onto the opposing party, and
Mm.
they become the beneficiary with the financial instrument that they would see off to trade. Currency transaction reports, business and trade activity, commercial confidential information, or uniform trade secrets. That's how they become the beneficiary, where they want others to become the trustee, so then they can be the beneficiary of the
Oh.
financial that they're fabricating when they offer when they volunteer an offering. It sounds like an order,
Hmm.
but it's actually a presentment or an offer that sounds like an order.
Right.
It,
I think Derek just made that on one of those recent lives where he said I don't know if he was the one or he was just sharing someone else's case with us where the honorable judge told the bailiff to hand him the keys and but it meant he goes into jail and what it meant is like literally hand him the keys. So yeah, I know Derek was explaining all that this weekend too and it was amazing.
Mhm.
um so question, who would be best to fill out this form? The only reason why I feel I would be best to fill these forms out, go through them and, obviously read them, know that I comprehend exactly what I'm going to fill out, obviously. I think, and then actually get it done would be me. But does it have, since I am no longer, married to him, does this fall on his son now, or can I still do it myself?
Well, you can arrange a power of attorney in fact document.
What?
A power of attorney in fact. It's a
Okay.
document where you just present with these instruments, and that you would be acting on his behalf. Either you or his son can be power of attorney over the ends lead, just the name. But there's one thing that his father's gonna have to. You would have to send in a mobile notary to go to the
Okay.
prison where he's located at, just for a brief visit for him to place his thumbprint on the bonds. There's a section where it says corporate seal, and
Okay.
he's going to have his thumbprint placed on those in purple ink.
Okay. And
And
purple ink for that's for loyalty, right? Something, right?
it's the harmony of water and blood,
Okay.
and those colors just signify like commerce, the maritime admiralty, commerce, which would be blue. It's like a symbiotic relationship, somewhat.
Hmm.
and signify that the living body has water and blood, and so the unification and harmony would be blue and red is purple.
Okay.
So that's what that would just signify for a commercial document. But yeah, there's a corporate seal section on those bonds. His thumbprints will have to be there. It's there's another option where you can get an embosser with the gold star seal sticker.
Instead of the mobile notary.
No, where the on the bonds where there's a corporate seal section. Let me pull these
Okay.
bonds up. All right, and let me get to that. Let me pull up the 28 first. Take notes on how to fill the. All right, standard form 28. Do you have the standard form 28?
I'm not sure. Let me see.
Sent that into the messages.
Give me 1 second because I can't hear you. You said form 28, right?
Yes.
I do have the 24, 25, 25A. I have CF91, Shelly Morgan
Yeah,
case
if you
bond.
scroll
Is
up a
that the
little
one
bit.
that you just asked me about, the case bond?
Yeah, and the
Okay.
short form one is the Shelley Morgan, where the lady wrote based off that case bond request, and she's got a handful of people out as far as what Shelley Morgan's testimony was. I was speaking to Shelley Morgan about 2 months ago about this, and I was saying, yeah, that lady wrote that same thing. I was sharing this case bond request for years since 2010, and it looks similar based off what I wrote, off
Right.
what Gene Keaton was teaching with Linda Schmaltz. I know Shelley Morgan sent me a copy of uh, what the lady wrote for her. She's trying to get somebody out. And, yeah, if you
Oh,
scroll up a
wow.
little bit, there's at SF28.
Okay, give
There's
me
just
one
go brief
second. Let me scroll up.
sections on how to fill this out.
28. Okay, I do. I see it. I see it. I see the 28 form. You want me to open it?
Yeah, so you take notes on
Okay.
sections and what info goes in them.
I don't know why I cannot put you on speaker because I have to keep putting the phone down so I can listen to you, and then look at the notes. It's not letting me put you on speaker for some reason. Um, shoot. No, it's not letting me. Okay. Oh well. Shoot. I don't know how to get back to the page. This is horrible. I'm really horrible with technology. Okay, there we go. I'm on the form 28 right now.
All right, the top left where it says state of,
Shoot, man, I do need to get this on the laptop. State of, okay.
that would be the state initially where he was apprehended. California, Arizona, that would be the state of, and then the count, and next to that county of, you place the county, just where that court case derived from.
The original, because well, yeah, I believe it was one court anyway, so yes.
Yeah, that case number. So it'd be the state of, county of. The in box one, where it says name, first, middle, and last, you would type print his name, first, middle, and last in all caps.
Okay.
However, that court case wrote his name is usually in the all caps, referring to an estate.
Okay.
In 2A, um, home address, it would be email address. address of individual. Yeah, it would either be his home address and care of, or be the address of that courthouse. Because it's not him physically as his address. It's the ens allegiance or the estate name that would be addressed.
Okay.
So
So
it
that
would
would be
either
that
be,
would be the home address.
yeah, and you would put CO there in care of.
Okay.
Okay, then in 5A, where it says name and address of individual surety broker used, that would be the depository trust corporation, or you could put CO dot depository trust co at 55 Water Street, first floor, um, New York City, spell out NEW, York City, and then comma NY. I believe the zip is 14401. Sorry,
What is that address?
that's where uh, QSIPs are signed. Trade goes on. $9 trillion a day gets processed through the Depository Trust Corporation. It stems from the birth certificate registration and the Social Security card, any other identifying number. The DTC are the shareholders of security instruments,
Okay.
which are derivatives, and all these trades come from. That's one of the main headquarters that's seeded into CEDE of any type of government documentation that references an identity or an ens legis or a state name or a trust, a birth certificate, a social security card, um, driver's license, anything that's registered with the state. The DTC supposedly processes hypothecated securities through that terminal. And what these bonds are doing is to extract the credit from there and just to satisfy the, I guess, the value of it as subrogative relief or equitable relief. I guess that's what these bonds are intended to do, is to enclose post settlement closure of the account, and they can just be satisfied with that bond and release the real property in escrow, which is trying attempting to relieve the biological property himself, his living property, to be released from escrow, which is the the imprisoned cell or what an escrow account is. Property that's bonded into a that got deposited into an account.
Okay.
So similar to putting money into a account, what do they do with people? They put people into an account. This is banking law, but the only difference is that they use biological beings as
Beans.
deposits and withdrawals.
Yes. You were saying you mentioned something else, something about the corporate seal section. Besides, if we can't if we couldn't get for whatever reason his thumbprint. I think you said that there was another way also to
Well, you could do power of attorney in fact, but it's gonna have to be his it has to be a reference from him, which would
right.
be his print, or if you had an embosser with with his custom seal, you can emboss the corporate seal there or place a thumbprint. All right, we'll get to that section there. Wait a minute. All right, at the
Okay.
standard form 28 on section 2A, that's not the home address and care of. That's for example, California's certificate of live birth number. So if the only reference number you have is a green card that would or a
How about the
passport
social
somehow,
security number?
something similar to a social.
Can he use the can we use the social security number? Because I believe that's all that we're gonna be able to use. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's if that's the only reference yeah, but specifically would be the certificate of live birth number would go in there in section 2A where it says home address, number, street. That's just identifying like the origin of the ens legis or the estate name. That's
Okay.
actually fictional home address of that entity, that birth certificate, that social card. That's the home address of that artificial person. That's what it means, rather, where that home address would go.
Yeah, but since he wasn't born here, you know what I mean, then we can't get no
Yeah, it's
CLLB.
relevant anyhow. As long as he has some kind of like number that referenced him uh, uh to walk on this land somehow, that would go into that section there at 2A. Looking at 5A, Depository Trust Co., 55 Water Street, first floor, New York City spelled out, and then comma NY 100401.
Okay.
That's 5A. Then scroll down to 9. Oh, my lady's calling me.
Okay.
Miss K. Yeah, let me. God, my lady just calling me for a moment. Let me.
So, okay, you'll call me back?
Yeah, I'll call her later. Let's go through this. All right, now at section at
Uh,
9, go to scroll down a little bit at section 9, SF 24 bid bond. You would write out SF
Give me one
24 then
second.
bid.
You said section 9, right?
Yeah, on SF 28. Scroll down and at 9 where it says identify all bonds, including bid guarantees for which the subject, blah, blah. Yeah, in that section there, SF index SF 24 and then bid bond, and then space below that, SF 25 performance bond, space below that, SF 25A payment bond, space below that,
Space below
OF90,
that, OF90,
OF91, which is
91, which is
release of
release
personal
of
property
personal property.
escrow.
That's
And below space
no
that,
space that,
copy of certificate of
a
live
certificate
birth
of live birth.
date, or on his behalf, it would just be that reference number that's similar to
Give me
the
one second.
social.
Shoot. I can't get back in the page.
Wait, let me speak to my lady. She's gonna start tripping if I ignore her.
Okay.
Let me-
Okay. Okay. You'll call me back? You want me to call you back?
yeah, I'll call you in a moment. Let me just speak to her. She's gonna
Okay.
start tripping if I ignore
Okay. Got it.
her.
Okay. Bye. I know, Junior. I'm very well aware what you told me, and I wouldn't do it because, well, he's so fucking scared. Uh, to me, honestly, I get him. Don't get me wrong. I get him 100%. But I also 100% do not get how he's willing to stay in here the rest of his fucking life because that's what it looks like to me. Like they don't want to let him go for shit unless he's doing some shady shit in there, Junior, and he has hurt anyone. He doesn't have to admit like to who or what, but if he's hurt anyone physically and all that, then I can't help him. Remember, I told you only when you hurt someone or you intend to physically cause bodily harm, and I forgot the other words, then you are guilty. Okay. If he has done none of that, then he qualifies to be released immediately. Okay. Now, I get all this. Okay. So that's why I don't get it because it's like he's going to risk going over there the rest of his life as opposed to staying here the rest of his life. I get it. I hear that the prisons over there are worse than here, but then at the same time, it's like, I'm pretty sure you're not having a picnic over there and this one, and no one fucking visits you, none of his fucking shitty ass family fucking goes to visit him. You can visit him, you're the only one that cares, that truly cares, um, and his grandkids, when they come of age, but anyway, that's assuming if they want to see him because, especially to Georgie, he's a complete stranger, so anyway, to get this finished up, because I don't want to keep you, and I hope you're listening to this until after you got off of work. As a matter of fact, I'll send you, because these take forever to get sent out because of my signal. I'm gonna send you a voice. I'm gonna send you a